Today I want to show you how I make the easiest soap that there is to make at home. This is a 100% coconut oil bar that's used specifically for cleaning and laundry. So it's not suitable at all for skin, it would be way too drying. But it's a great bar because there's so many uses for it around the house and it only has 2 ingredients besides water. There's coconut oil and lye. This coconut oil is a 5-gallon bucket. I use it all the time, so it makes sense for me to get it in such a big quantity, but you can get it in much smaller sizes. You can get it shipped to you, and you can find it at most health stores. But what you want to look for is a coconut oil that's not food grade, because it's much less expensive. The second ingredient you need that's essential for any soap making is lye. It's also called sodium hydroxide. One thing that I'm not putting in this bar of soap is any fragrance or any color. Now, if this is your first time soap making, there are a few things you need to know. It's not like cooking, where you can change things as you go along and you can make substitutions. Things have to be exact. So you cannot measure your oils and your lye using a measuring cup. You need to use a digital scale. They're not expensive and they're actually really useful around the house for everything from bread making to dividing up packages of things evenly. So you'll want to have one anyway. You also need a stick blender. They're also useful around the house. They're not just for soap making. They're a good thing to have for soups, anything you want to blend right in the pot. You can try to whisk your soap together by hand, but it doesn't work very often. You'll also need a mold. So when you make soap, you can either pour it into a big loaf and cut it into bars, or you can get an individually shaped mold like this, which is easier. It just doesn't allow you to do swirls and any pretty designs. Since this is a beginning soap recipe, I would recommend something like this. You're going to be making cleaning bars, their appearance isn't that important, so a mold like this is just going to keep things simple. There are also safety concerns when you make soap. Lye is a really dangerous chemical. If you were to get lye water in your eye, or if you were to swallow it, it would permanently damage you. It's really dangerous to children, and one thing that you have to be careful about is leaving your lye water somewhere where a child could come knock it over, which could get in their face and blind them, or leaving it out and having it just look like a glass of water that somebody wants to drink and having somebody drink it. So this is one project that I always do during my children's quiet time or nap time. I never do it when they're around. And that is basically the only project that I am like that about. Most things I just do wherever, but I'm really careful about soap. I put my lye water up here. Right now it's cooling and it's in a place where nobody could get to it. So that's important. It's a good idea to label your glass poison, but I didn't do that, it's just me. If you get lye on your hands, it will sting. A lot of times you'll see soap tutorials where people are wearing glasses, they have like hazmat gear on and gloves. I don't do any of that, and I have actually gotten lye water on my hands, and it stings, but it wasn't that big a deal. But you probably should wear all the gear that they wear, it's probably safer. A lot of people will ask, how do you make soap without lye? They're freaked out by the whole thing about blinding people and dying from drinking it, which is understandable. And they want to know, okay, well, how do I make soap without lye? And the answer is that you cannot. If you don't want to work with lye, that's totally understandable. You just can't make cold process soap. You can make melt and pour soap, where you buy a huge block of already made soap, melt it down, add color and fragrance and little mix-ins, pour it into a mold, and then use it. That's not making soap. That's adding things to soap, and that's fine. But if you want to make cold process soap, you have to use lye, and there's really just no way around it. So we have our lye water all mixed up, and it's shot up in temperature because that's what happens when lye and water are mixed together. It's a chemical reaction that creates heat. We've also used heat to melt the coconut oil. So right now, both of those things are cooling. They probably started at about 140 degrees. We need to wait a couple hours for them to go down to 120 degrees, and then we can blend them. If we blended them now while they were hot, they could create a volcano reaction, spill over, make a big mess, burn our skin, ruin our counters. We don't want to do that. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you do make this soap. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave me a comment below. If you prefer to have a printable recipe and step-by-step pictures, you can go to my blog, which is heartscontentfarmhouse.com. I have a post there about it, and I also have a list of recipes with how to use this soap and turn it into other things for around your house. I love soap making. I love answering your questions about it, so get in touch with me if you need anything. Have a good day. Thank you so much for watching.